Morning, students. Welcome to the learning platform once more. Last time we ended with capillarity, where we talk about adhesion and cohesion. I hope you have understood what we did. Today we are moving forward to a new topic. Here we are going to look at topic 8. And this topic is called the phase of the moon. I know in many instances you have seen the moon and you have heard about half moon, full moon. You always heard about the Muslim always thought they want to see the moon, they want to see when the moon comes on before they start the fasting whatsoever maybe. And that is what we are going to study today. We are also going to throw more light about the shadow and eclipse. I remember there are 2 eclipses. In this topic, we are going to see that. This is our first lesson. And we are going to start with the introduction. Before going further, we have the plan of the work. We have introduction, we have definition, we have presentation, and we have formation and types of. Okay, with the introduction, we talk of the moon and the earth revolve around each other. They revolve around each other. It doesn't mean that the moon is moving alone. No, the moon and the earth are moving, but they are revolving around each other. The orbit of the moon is elliptical around the earth, and therefore the distance between the earth and the moon varies. Elliptical, when you talk of elliptical, it means it's like an egg. Remember, the egg is not round. The egg is elliptical. One of the edge is further away from the center. That is how the moon revolves. It's elliptical. That is why the distance from the center to the pole is different from the distance from the center to the equator. That is why the distance varies at each interval. The average distance between the Earth and the Moon is about 382,000 kilometers. This is the average distance. Okay, let's look at the formation and types of shadows. You have to review. Remember, shadow, you did shadow in Form 1. We are just going to review. Before we start, we have to tell you what a shadow is all about. A shadow is formed when light rays are blocked by opaque objects. Remember, we are opaque. An opaque object is an object which light doesn't pass through. No, we cannot see through that object. That is how we are able to see our shadow whenever light rays fall on us. There are 2 types of shadow. Here we have the umbra shadow, and we equally have the penumbra shadow. Remember, there is a clear difference between the umbra shadow and the penumbra shadow. The umbra shadow is darker than the penumbra shadow. We are going to see it on the diagram below. But before we move to the diagram, let's look. Remember, the size of the shadow varies. The size of the shadow varies, and it depends on 3 factors. And these factors are, the first, we talk the distance between the source of light and the object. The source of light might be a light bulb, and the object might be you or any opaque object. Therefore, the distance between the source of light and the object will determine the size of that shadow. We move ahead, we look at the distance between the source of light and the screen. The screen is a point or the surface where you see the shadow. Therefore, the distance between the source of light and the screen determines the size of the shadow. We move to the 3rd point, where we have the distance between the source of object and the screen. These are the three factors that determine the size of the shadow. Okay, if you look at the diagram, if you look carefully, you are going to see the umbra shadow, you are going to see the penumbra shadow. You see the moon, the sun, and this is the earth. Look, this is the darker part. This dark part is called the umbra. This is the umbra part of it, which is very dark, and this is the penumbra part, which is fairly dark. This is what we have been talking about. This is what we have been talking about: the umbra shadow and the penumbra shadow. Okay, dear students, I think we have gone through all the types of shadow, and I think it's time for me to give you activity to test your understanding. I would like you to explain whether the moon produces light or not. Remember, in Form 1, you did an object that produces light. And I quite remember you did the moon as maybe one that produces light or not. But I would like you to explain to me whether the moon produces light or not. Thank you very much, dear students, for attending the lesson. I will meet you in our next class.